Loopy Mabel Vintage Style Crochet. My name is Jane, and in today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to make this Betsy bow ear warmer. I've literally just rustled this up in a matter of hours. It's an idea that came to me in my head, and I wanted something that was obviously warm for the winter without having to wear a hat, but something just with that little bit of a vintage touch. So I've added this detachable tie bow, so you can wear it with or without. So why not have a go and make it along with me. What you'll need is a 5mm hook and some Aran weight yarn, and I shall see you back here in a sec. So let's go ahead and make this lovely vintage style ear warmer. I've called it the Betsy bow ear warmer, as the name suggests. And what we'll be using for this tutorial is a 5mm crochet hook. You need some darning needles to sew in your ends. You'll need a tape measure, and I'm using the Stylecraft Special Aran yarn. This one was in the gold, and this one I'm using in this video is in the sage. So obviously you need to get your tape measure, and you need to measure the circumference of the head that you're making the ear warmer for. Now if you're making it for yourself, obviously you can measure your head and take the measurement, whatever the measurement is, from how I normally put the tape measure at the back of my head all the way up over my ears to the top where I would wear an ear warmer, and take that measurement. And from there I deducted 3 inches, so it gives you, in order for you to have that stretch around the head. But if you're making it for somebody else, and obviously you can't get to measure them, the average adult size head is between 22 and 23 inches. My head measured 23 inches, so therefore my measurement would be 20 inches. So if that gives you an idea, if you were making this for somebody else and you can't get to measure their head. So in this tutorial, if you want to follow along with me, I'm going to be working to the 20 inches. So what we need to do to start off with is make our slip knot, so whichever way you know how to do that. And we're going to start off by chaining 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And we're going to go down into the second chain from our hook, so not this first one, the second one, and we're going to work double crochet. So this tutorial is in English crochet terms, so if you're watching from the US, it would be a single crochet. We're going to go down into that second chain from our hook, insert your hook, and double crochet. And we're just going to work all the way along this row, working double crochet. Last one. So you should now have 17 stitches. So if you just want to double check that you've got 17 before we continue. And we're going to now work our first row of bobbles. So this is row 2. So we're going to chain 1 and turn, and the chain 1 does not count as a stitch throughout this tutorial. And we're going to go down into that very first stitch and do another double crochet. And we're going to work our first bobble by working 3 incomplete trebles into the next stitch. So yarn over, down into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, down into the same stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, down back through that same stitch, yarn over, pull through 2. So you should have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 4. And we're going to go down into the next stitch and complete a double crochet. So we go down into the next stitch and work another bobble. So 3 incomplete trebles, down to the next double crochet, and then another bobble. So we're just going to work all the way along, working our bobble stitch followed by a double crochet stitch, and you should have 8 bobbles at the end, and you should have 17 stitches throughout this tutorial. So if you need to keep a count as you're going along, just to make sure you haven't dropped a stitch, because sometimes stitches can be missed on the end. So just work all the way along. Last bobble, and we should finish off this row with a double crochet in the very last stitch. So this is what I mean, it can easily be missed, this last stitch. So if you just turn your work, you should see the V shape on the end there. Insert your hook into there, that last stitch, and work a double crochet, and you should have 17 stitches and 8 bobbles. And as you turn your work, you'll see the bobbles on the right side. We always work our bobbles with the wrong side facing us, so when you turn your work over, they are showing through on the other side. So now we're going to work rows 3, 4 and 5, which are all the same. So it's chain 1 and turn, and we're just going to double crochet all the way along. Just make sure you pick up all those stitches, all 17 stitches. And if you're struggling to see where the stitches are, as I say, it can get a little bit curly as you're starting. If you just tilt your work towards you, you should be able to see the V stitches along the top there, and that's where you insert your hook. So if you do struggle to see where they are, all you need to do is just tilt your work. You can see the V stitch, insert your hook into that V stitch and double crochet like so. And don't forget that last stitch, and chain 1 and turn, and work double crochet and work a row of double crochet. So this is row 4, and go, and chain 1 and turn for row 5. So again, double crochet, and this pattern is really simple. We're just going to follow rows 2, 3, 4 and 5. And there we go. So that forms the pattern. So we're just going to continue on now working row 2, which is the bobble row, which is double crochet, bobble, double crochet, bobble, and then rows 3, 4 and 5 is 3 rows of double crochet, and just repeat that all the way along. And if you're working to my measurements, we're going to work till we get to 20 inches. So if you want to pause the video, and I shall see you somewhere near enough 20 inches, and you need to be finishing on row number 3. So you need to be finishing with a bobble row number 2 and then one more row number 3 of double crochet. So if you want to do that, and I shall see you when you're at 20 inches. So we just need to now cut our yarn, but just leave a long enough tail so we can sew the ends together. So like so, and pull that through to tighten it. So there we have our e-warmer. So we're going to put right sides together, so obviously the bobble side is the right side, and we're going to fold it in half and put them right sides together, and we're going to sew up this piece here. So we just need to take our darning needle and we just place the two short ends together, and we're just going to do a loose stitch like so. Catch that in as well, and just catch those stitches. Doesn't have to be too accurate because it's going to get cinched, so we just catch the top stitches like so. Just making sure your ends match. Like so, and we're just going to pull that thread now so it cinches and gathers. Like so. So just pull it so it's cinched nicely, and then we're just going to over sew to secure that now so the cinching doesn't loosen off. Go over it a few times. And then just cut that off, and we'll just quickly sew in this end. Just trim that, so you should have a nice cinched edges, and turn it through to the right side, and your e-warmer should be looking something like this, so it's nice and cinched in the middle. And now we're just going to finish it off by making the tie. So the beauty of this e-warmer is you could wear it cinched without the tie, or add the tie. So, and the tie just literally is unattached, so you just tie it on or off. And you could make it with different colour yarns for a different effect too. So we're now going to put our e-warmers to one side, and we're now going to concentrate on our bow. Like so. So we need to take our yarn. I'm just going to continue on with the green, and I just need to make our slip knot again. And we're just going to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and into the second chain from our hook we're going to work a half treble, pull through all three, and then into the last chain another half treble. So we have 2 stitches there. I'm just going to turn our work now, so we're going to chain 1 and turn, and that chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch, and we're just going to work 2 half trebles into that first stitch, so 2 half trebles into the same stitch like so, and work 2 half trebles into the last stitch, 1 and 2. So now we've got 4 stitches. We're going to chain 1 and turn our work. We're going to work 2 half trebles into that first stitch again, 1 and 2. So, and then we're going to work 2 half trebles into the next 2. So 1, 2, and into that last one on the end we're going to work 2 half trebles. 1 and 2. So now we've got 2, 4, 6 stitches on, so we're just working up. We're going to repeat these rows until we've got 10 stitches on our hook. So chain 1 and turn, and 2 half trebles down into the first stitch, half treble into the next 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 half trebles into that last stitch on the end, 1 and 2, and we're just forming that lovely point shape on our detachable bow. So chain 1 and turn, and work 2 again into that first, 2 half trebles into that first stitch, and then half treble into the next 6, to that 6th one, and finish with 2 half trebles into that last stitch, 1 and 2, and we should now have 10 stitches to work with. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So that forms the bottom part of our bow, and we're now just going to work all the way along now with our 10 stitches, no more increasing until we come to the other end, and then we'll decrease to form the bottom part of our row. So we're going to continue along, so we've got a total of 35 rows, so we should be somewhere round about here, 35 rows, and then we're going to do our 5 rows of decrease. So if you want to pause the video, I shall see you when you're somewhere around about here and you've done 35 rows in total. So I've now got my 35 rows, does have a little bit of stretch in it, and we're just going to work the decrease, so the other end of the tie, and it's basically a repeat of the beginning but obviously in reverse. So we're just going to chain 1 and turn, so we're going to work half treble, incomplete half treble there, then down into the next and decrease there, and then half trebles to the last 2 stitches, so I've got 2 stitches left, so incomplete half treble down into the next and pull through to decrease, chain 1 and turn, and exactly the same again into the next, pull through all and that's a decrease, and work along to the last remaining 2. So I've got 2 left there, so half treble into there, down into the last one, yarn over, pull through them all, chain 1 and turn, and the same again, so half treble into the first, down into the next, and pull through, half treble in the next few until the last 2. There's our last 2, so decrease again, and we should have 4 left, chain 1 and turn, so we're going to decrease again, and then we've got 2 left, so decrease in the remaining 2, yarn over and pull through, and that finishes off our tie. So we're just going to cut our yarn, pull through secure, tighten it, and we just need to sew in our ends, weave the needle through, same with the other end. And there we've got our tie. And then, as I say, you can either wear the ear warmer just cinched as is, but I like to finish it off with the tie, so you just simply place the tie underneath, and I just like to fold them over so it's easier to tie, and just a loose tie, like so, and there we have our Betsy Bow ear warmer. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. There's a little bell you can click, which will then notify you of all video updates that I bring out. There's also a PDF pattern available for you to download if you like to see it in black and white, and I'll put the link for that in the box below, but you can get it in my Etsy and my Ravelry stores. This is the one we made in the tutorial. This one's in the sage green, and I'm wearing the camel gold, but obviously you can use any Aran weight yarn you like, and obviously any colour, and you can mix and match the bows, because the bows are detachable, so you could take the bow off and put a different colour on. You can coordinate maybe with what you're wearing, so it's quite a versatile little piece. And because we've made it so wide, it's lovely and cosy, almost covers all your head but not quite a hat, so it's really cosy, keeps your ears warm, and just with that little bit of a vintage feel with the bow. And obviously you don't have to wear the bow, it's ruched underneath, so you can wear it with the bow or without, but I like it with the bow. I just think it gives it just that little something extra. I'm hoping to make a matching cowl to go with it, and possibly some matching hand warmers, so I shall keep you posted on that. Keep up to date with everything I'm up to on my Instagram and Facebook accounts. Anything you want to ask me, any questions at all in relation to this pattern or the tutorial, please ask me in the box below and I will get back to you, I promise. And as I always say, practice does make perfect. Please take care, and until the next time,